The New York Giants, a team I'm still very undecided on. They made some really good moves in the offseason that get me very excited, and I wasn't expecting to say that until I started doing research for this video. But as I did more and more research, I came away thinking, this team may be a dark horse playoff contender. But my brain won't let me accept that because I see the issues still there glaring. And I'm really excited to talk about the Giants today because they did a phenomenal job in the offseason. They had a great free agency period. They had a great draft. And I look at the direction they're going, it's kind of hard not to be excited about the brand new direction of the New York Giants. You could say it's a new era in New York. Now, the New York Giants, as I said, had a phenomenal free agency period. They kept Darius Slayton, who I think is a very solid receiver. Whether he plays the entire season with them or they trade him at the deadline will be determined on how they do with the record and all that. But at the very least, at the end of the day, he is a solid player that you can afford to pay $12 million a year. Javon Holland is a great safety that can play downhill and will really revitalize that Giants secondary. Paulson Debo, another great move, bring him in there to help improve just that Giants secondary. Chauncey Goldston, a solid end. James Hudson, a solid right tackle. And then you bring in veteran Russell Wilson. Now, we'll come back to Russell Wilson. They also brought in Jameis Winston. And those are the two guys that I really want to discuss about for this free agency period. Because their season of the Giants is going to live and die by them. I'm a Steelers fan. I watched a lot of Russell Wilson. I understand fans weren't too happy with him at the end of the season last year. I'd argue there were a lot of other things there that really didn't help him, and you saw a lot of the issues that can pop up with Russell Wilson pop up because the play calling just wasn't good in Pittsburgh. Brian Daboll is a really good offensive mastermind. He knows how to play to his quarterback's strengths. I mean, he got Daniel Jones $40 million a year. He's a good coach, he's a good coordinator, he's a good offensive mastermind. Russell Wilson is not this bum that doesn't have it in him anymore. We saw with the Steelers, if you let him play Russell Wilson style football, throw it downfield to a number one target that can really go and make a play on the ball, good stuff can happen, and the Giants just happen to have Malik Neighbors who can do that. Now, the concern with Russell Wilson is he holds on the ball too long, and you have a lot of question marks about this Giants offensive line, and you're worried about the hits he'll take, and that's very fair. I will say this, Brian Daboll is a smart man. He will figure that out. He'll figure out how to make that marriage work. I think Russell Wilson is a massive upgrade for the Giants at quarterback position that they've had probably since Eli Manning, before Eli got abused by the offensive line. And even then, Eli was still probably the best quarterback they've had. So you look at all the stuff, I really do think the Giants made a massive upgrade at quarterback. And when you look at the rest of this team, it's really easy to notice they might be an underdog here to make a playoff run. Now, to talk about their draft, and I really want to talk about Jackson Dart first, because I wasn't the biggest Jackson Dart fan during the entire draft process. I just never saw it with him. With what Dart is a extremely developmental quarterback in which I don't see him playing football for 2 seasons. I know that might not be a common take, and I'm sure Giants fans want to see him play early on. I did not see it at Ole Miss. I think he has a lot of work to be done. He gets routed way too easy in the pocket, and you look at the Giants, if you have questions about the O-line, you do not put him out there. But I really did not mind this move, and the reason why, though, is they didn't give up a whole bunch of picks to trade up and draft Jackson Dart. Now, let's say the worst thing happens this year. The Giants suck, all that, you bring in a new coach. Well, the new coach isn't necessarily tied to Jackson Dart because they didn't give up a whole bunch for him. And you can still trade a first-round quarterback for draft capital come the 2026 NFL Draft if you have the chance to take a quarterback you prefer more. And if Brian Daboll's not there, that may very well be the case. But you look at what Jackson Dart can do. He is a big, athletic guy, has a good arm. I wouldn't say anything great. He will sometimes rush deep throws in which I don't really think he reads the defense. He just throws them early, and that can lead to some bad balls that can lead to balls that go into coverage areas. I see what a lot of people see when they see something there. It's just not for me. He is talented. I'm personally not his biggest fan, but Brian Daboll is a very good offensive coach. He knows how to work with quarterbacks. If there's a guy to make it work, I would trust Brian Daboll there. Now, let's talk about the rest of the draft. And I don't want to highlight every single pick because I will be doing a podcast talking about the Giants when we go to the NFC East on this channel. How can I not talk about my number one player I had the biggest draft crush on in Abdul Carter? When I say I had an enormous grade on Abdul Carter, I mean it. There was a massive gap between the first pick and second pick in my rankings. There was a closer gap between the second and 10th pick than first and second. That's how ridiculously high I thought of Abdul Carter. He really looks like just a transcendent pass rusher to me. And you look at this Giants front seven. Oh my god, it's amazing. And I really want to wait to talk about it when I talk about their strengths. But you look at Abdul Carter, he is not going to get prioritized like he would on a lot of other teams. He's going to get a lot of one-on-ones. He is going to wreak havoc, and it is going to be a joy to watch. Now, they also took some other guys I liked. Cam Skattebo. Now, Cam Skattebo was never the guy I thought would be a number one running back. He's just a number two that I believe that fits in a system. Him and Tyron Tracy is a really good running back pairing because they complement each other. Tracy is way more the burst. He can get up and go and make the cuts. Cam Skattebo is the lunch pail running back that's going to fight for those extra yards. He's going to come in and just grind out extra yardage. And those two will really complement each other down the stretch. And they also did take Darius Alexander. And Darius Alexander, I was a little up and down on. I didn't see him as highly as some other people who even had him like in the bottom of the first round. I saw some of that. I thought he was good, and I really do like him in the third round. I think it's appropriate value, and he will come in, be a good pass rushing interior defense tackle. Tell me, do the Giants know how to do that position pretty well? I think they do. Now to talk about the Giants' strengths, and oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, is it obvious, and it's amazing. The Giants' strength is their front seven that will just annihilate offensive lines. They have Robert Harris, Rakeem Nunez-Roches, Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Bobby Okereke, Micah McFadden, Abdul Carter, and they have Kayvon Thibodeau off the bench. Who is going to block this unit? Nobody. They will apply pressure every single week. They will win the battle in the trenches every single week. They are so talented, it's not even fair to offensive lines. They're going to put pressure on the quarterback. Quarterbacks are going to rush their throws. They're going to throw balls to the secondary that's going to have an opportunity to get turnovers because this defensive front is going to put that much pressure on quarterbacks. They're going to stop the run game. They're going to dominate up front, and it's just going to be fun to watch every single week. The Giants will win more games because of this front seven. They will win games they probably shouldn't because of this front seven. They're an extremely talented unit that will meld together as the season goes on, and they will probably produce at least one 10-plus sack guy, maybe multiple. They will have probably one of the best defensive fronts in the entire league by the end of the season. They will probably be one of the top sack teams. They'll be one of the top pressure rate teams. They'll be one of the top run defense teams. Anything defensive-wise that relies on the front seven, the Giants will be at the top of the list by the end of the season. Weakness? Now, as much as I just raved about the Giants' defensive line, I think it's very obvious that the Giants' weakness is the offensive line. The offensive line does not play to their quarterback strength in Russell Wilson, who likes to hold on to the ball. I don't necessarily trust the Giants' O-line to do that. I think it's got some young players you do like. It brought in some veterans. It is still a major work in progress, and it's been that case, I believe, for over a decade now. Their line has been bad for so long that you wonder if it'll ever get fixed. They have brought in a lot of pieces to try and fix it. Andrew Thomas, Evan Neal were both high draft picks. They have looked at addressing center in the draft. They have looked at addressing guard in the draft. It is to the point that you wonder, when is it actually going to get fixed? Who is the guy? Is it the line coach? Is it how you view offensive linemen as a team? Where is the issue? And honestly, I can't answer that because it's been bad for so long. I don't know. We've seen different regimes come in there, draft their guys, and it does not work out. The Giants have a lot of talent on offense. They have a lot of talent on defense, but that offensive line really makes you worry about where this team can go this season. Now, where do I think the Giants will finish in the division? I currently have them in fourth place just because of that offensive line. This is a team that I think can very much surprise people, including me to an extent, because that defense, I think, is filled with killers. I just don't necessarily know if their offensive line will overcome their issues. That offense is going to have issues running the football because of that O-line. There will be unnecessary quarterback hits because of that offense line, and Russell Wilson does not play to their strengths. It's very interesting. I hope the Giants are a good team this year because I would really love to see that defense against the primetime teams in the playoffs. I would love to see that Giants defense against the Eagles on a cold winter game in the playoffs. That would be perfect. But I'm not guaranteed to get that, which makes me a little sad. I think they're going to be better than people expect, but I don't know how much better because of that offensive line. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you could share this, I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm trying to hit 300 subscribers by the start of the NFL season. I am currently at 278 at the time of this recording. All the love, all the support would be very much appreciated. If you'd share this, just get this out there, share it to another Giants fan, what have you, my thoughts on the team, I'd appreciate it. And if you disagree with me, go down in the comment section. I can handle some disagreements, and I love to see what other people think about their team, or if you're not even a Giants fan, what you think about this team overall. I'm also doing 32 in 32 days. I have more NFC East videos to shoot. They're actually the division I'm going to finish last because I'm doing alphabetical order, and the Commanders are last. But Giants fans, you want to go check out what I think about the Dallas Cowboys, go ahead, find that video. There's a playlist on the screen. Click on it. There's a bunch of teams already there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it and have a great day.